So, good morning, Greg, and everyone else at Corky. Um, so, Greg asked if I could send down the piece that I had made, prototype piece, for this toy idea. And rather than send some atoms down your way, I thought I'd send some bits down your way. So, I'm going to show you how I think this thing could be developed. So here we have two pieces. They're identical, right? And each one has these sockets cut out that are just a little bit bigger than a half circle, so that when you put a sphere in them, let's use the other one. I like this one better. It's weird doing this while looking at the camera. I should just look at the things. It may be out of the camera range. So, I place this here. I now have, let me get this lined up. Okay, so I now have something that cannot come out because the socket is encasing the majority of the sphere, but I have this great area that I can rotate it, okay? And I'll just take this piece of paper, oops, that one's too, take this piece of paper, right, and this would be your rods, your spokes, and then obviously at this end we'd have another hub, right? So that's pretty much how it works. This was designed for, I was thinking about some larger structures when I had this one prototyped. I'd kind of given up on the building toy idea because I couldn't get anyone interested. This is 2.5, a little over 2.5 inches. I would think that the hub for a toy would be about half this size, so maybe 1.25 inches. And obviously the everything else, the balls that go into the sockets would be half the size. Now, what I was thinking is all of this would be made out of plastic. I just happen to have some spherical wooden pieces that I could use that matched up the size of these holes, which I think are 1 inch in diameter. But if I were doing this, I would make a piece about to where my thumb goes, all made out of plastic with threads. And then the spokes, the equivalent of the piece of paper, would be a hollow tube of plastic with threads on the inside that could be threaded onto the thread attached to the ball going in the hub, into the socket. You could make additional connector pieces, just little pieces of threaded plastic, maybe about that size, which would then allow you to connect multiple pieces of the hub material, right? So you could get different length spokes. So these pieces in the toy, what I would do is thread this interior hole and have a bolt that maybe even could be hand tightened, or maybe with like a nickel or something would have like a head of a traditional screw, not a Phillips head. It'd just be tightened up that way. The other couple of other things, which are also in the email that I'm going to send to Greg. There are situations where you need hubs when you're working on tin structures. Those of you who've worked with any sort of CAD program that uses triangulated irregular networks. Most of the hubs have 6 lines coming into them, but there are cases where you have 7, so you would need a hub with 7 sockets, and sometimes you need a hub with 5 sockets. So in a complete building toy system, you'd have most of them would be 6-sided, but you'd have a few 7-sided and a few 5-sided. And finally, I guess the only other thing I have to say at this point is, if these were threaded, then I would also have a piece that could be put into the thread from, say, the other side. Say if your bolt is going in here, you wouldn't need to go all the way through, so you'd have some thread available on the other side. In that, you could have a piece attached to a flat piece that like this. So if this piece attached here, then this piece could rotate like that. You have a hole here, obviously, with another little bolt. And then that could give you something that could attach this down to, attach your tin structure down to a flat surface if you wanted to do something like that. And that would be a fairly simple piece to make. So I think, that's pretty much where I am in terms of thinking about this stuff as a toy. Welcome to brainstorm more questions if you guys have them. But hope that maybe can get you started. Okay, thanks.